I'm Kevin Schuker, and this is Health Box. Today we're coming to you from the New York Hotel here on 34th Street and 8th Avenue in New York City, and we're here for the New Life Expo. So let's have a little walk around and see what interesting characters and information we can find here today. I'm here with Amy Rachelle. What's your dream in personal transformation? So Amy, I have to ask you, what's your dream?
My dream is to empower you and the planet.
Sounds like great. We're in total agreement with that. What is your program, What's Your Dream and Personal Transformation?
Transformation is a program designed to empower someone with the tools to ascertain what is it that I really do want out of life, and to have that bridge from the head to the heart, from the subconscious to the conscious, in order to bring about what your original true blueprint is designed to do. What is your human anatomy designed to do beyond negative belief systems?
And what you said earlier, you said certain tools. What would you consider those tools to be?
Okay, meditation. Becoming the observer so you don't identify with the habitual, conditioned, programmed way of thinking that was around before we were around. Live foods, cleansing, fasting, yoga.
And you see that these things, I guess you bring them all together in a personal experience. What would you call it?
Okay, so Transformation the Program is a 5-session series where you come for 5 sessions, they're 3 hours each, and we focus on your personal negative belief systems that are not personal really, they're collective. And then we start to break them down systematically with our tools, with our yoga, with our breath, and with body work.
Okay. And what would you say? Do people get, I guess, fast breakthroughs, or is this a slow process? What is your experience with that?
Well, you are completely supported through the entire thing. So it's all in the willingness of one and their own belief and their own empowerment of how quickly they can break through. I can have you breaking through right here, right now, in this instant, if you're willing to come with me.
Let's go. I'm ready to go for that.
Or it can take you forever if you're not willing to let go.
That's absolutely true. I think we've all experienced that. Some things come fast and some things take a little bit more time.
Yes, for all of us.
For all of us, absolutely. So where can people find you if they wanted to find out a little bit more about this information?
Go to my website at amyrachelle.com.
And you hold regular groups here in the city?
Yes, hold meditation groups that are free. Also do classes and do individual sessions, and we have a benefit coming up for a Global Vision project.
Okay, great. Now, let's say I was new to meditation. I'd never meditated before. It seems a little imposing for me. How would you perhaps guide a person through that process? Let's say we were awakening to the thought of perhaps meditating. Is there any recommendations you could offer anybody as like a beginner?
Absolutely. Acceptance for where one's life is at this moment, to be able to be in the moment with what is. This is what my life is. Let me accept that, and let me have the willingness now to go beyond what I think I may know or I don't know, and open myself up to the limitless possibilities that exist beyond what the narrow box is that is keeping me confined.
Sure. And I know earlier you said that one of the tools was food and diet. What recommendations do you have as far as that is concerned, and how do you see that affecting us?
Okay, so it depends on where a person is. Once again, if someone is eating the standard American diet, I would say for now, just try a week of giving up meat. All right, that's working for you. Try another week of giving up dairy. Go for a couple of months like that to really see some profound differences. Start adding in as much living food, which means that hasn't had its life force destroyed, that which is high in minerals, low in sugar, and start to just make a transition. And if you really want to go all the way instantaneously, you want to see dramatic results right away, go directly onto as much living food as possible and don't eat any more cooked food for at least 1 month. After that month, then try it. But give a little bit of substantial time in so you can actually gauge the difference within your body.
Absolutely. I mean, we agree with that totally. Living food and increasing the vibration through diet. And I guess finally, you also mentioned fasting. What role? Well, first, what is fasting, and what role does that also play in this?
Okay, so fasting, cleansing the cells of the emotional, physical debris that has been clogged and coating the porous cells from being able to absorb the nutrition that you could potentially be absorbing from what you're taking in. If you can't absorb it, it doesn't matter how well you're eating. You can eat live foods all day long, but if we don't fast and cleanse, primarily, especially in the beginning of a path, you could be eating live foods for a long period, but you see raw food is getting emaciated and very skinny. Why? They're not able to absorb. So those cells must be porous enough to absorb. Cleansing and fasting is a must. It's the primary tool, I would say.
And again, for those of us who may not have done fasting before, that also sounds equally as daunting. Do you have any just quick recommendations, what to fast on, or the length of time somebody should fast?
Right, good. Well, first I would say let's just go on a mental fast first.
Yeah.
Let's fast from negative thinking first. Let's start there.
That's a good place to start.
And then when we are able to be clean enough within our thinking to be open to the limitless possibilities, then let's try once again just going without sugar. Then let's try just going without caffeine or drugs or cigarettes. Or let's not hang out with people who contribute to a negative way of being. Let's surround ourselves by people who are also reaching and growing and heeding the call of evolution. Are you heeding the call of evolution? Do you want to grow? If not, then what are you really standing for? What are we really doing here on this planet? We must all take self-responsibility and be willing to say, I'm here to contribute and I want to know how, even if I don't know how, and this all seems intimidating and daunting. Okay, that's all right. Let me take a baby step towards fasting from negative thinking. Let me fast first from that, then let me fast with my diet, then let me fast from the job that doesn't agree with me and the relationships that don't work. But first, most importantly, let me be willing to give up that which prevents my connection to the truth of who I really am, which is the same as the truth of who you really are. There's no difference in any of us. Beyond the personal is the universal.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we support that totally. These seem like great tools and something that all of us can make small little baby steps to start off with. But it's a journey that can take us on a very long, take us long distance, and we can all get there, hopefully, in the end. So I want to thank Amy very much. I know she's been doing some great work here in New York for many years, and we want to say thank you very much, Amy, and very good luck in the future. I'm Kevin Shuker, and this is Health Box. I'm here with Brenda Cobb, author of Living Foods Lifestyle, and we're getting here, and all she has left is the display copy of this book. So, Brenda, things must have gone very well for you here in New York City. Tell us a little bit about Living Food Lifestyle and what that means to you.
Living Foods Lifestyle is a concept that we want to put organic, raw, and living foods that have not been cooked in our bodies to give optimum nutrition. So the living foods are the sprouted foods and the raw fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. And when we put good things in our body, then it can respond back and give us good health.
That sounds very interesting. So what is the benefit of an uncooked food over a cooked food?
When we cook our food, we kill the enzymes, the vitamins, and the minerals are compromised. And also, every cooked food is acidic to the body. So that creates mucus, and then that in turn creates health problems. So if we can eat food that has not been cooked, we're getting living enzymes and all the vitamins and minerals. So we're getting the optimum nutrition that we possibly can.
Absolutely. We wholeheartedly endorse that. So tell me, how did you get into living foods? How did this journey start for you?
Well, personal health challenges. In February of 1999, I was diagnosed with breast and cervical cancer, and the doctors wanted me to do chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery. I opted not to do that because I had family members that tried that method, and it did not work. So I looked for a way to heal myself naturally, and in my research found out about the Living Foods Lifestyle concept, and it resonated with me. I decided I'm doing that, and in 6 months I was cancer-free, and even my own medical doctor wrote the foreword in my book, and he sends his patients to my center now.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, we hear stories in the living food world of people healing themselves. It's great to meet someone in person. And I guess this inspired you to write this book.
You know, I decided that if I would write the book, then maybe somewhere down the road, someone that was searching for answers may be inspired by my story, because I believe sometimes other people's personal stories can empower us in some way. And I'm not a writer, but now I've written 6 books. So I just, you know, I speak from my heart. I just say, you know, what really I feel, and it works.
Well, that sounds like a writer to me. If you've written 6 books, I would call yourself a writer.
Well, now I am. But before, I had never written a book. It was challenging, the first one. But now I can't stop. I want to keep writing. Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. And you seem to have had such a great response here. How have New Yorkers been receiving this information?
I've had a great response. My lectures and my workshops were packed with people, and they were just very open and great questions. And I really think we reached a lot of new people this time. I'm excited about it. I love New York anyway. Yeah. I've been here several times just for pleasure and fun. This is the first time I've been here to really spread the Living Foods word, but I hope to come back.
Well, it's great. You're in the place here in New York City. This is where we need a lot of help to move people along. Well, thank you very much. And from what we see here, I recommend you get this book quick because they're selling out here in New York City. So, Brenda, thank you very much, and good luck to you in the future.
Thanks so much.
In the last few years.
If you can get on top, it's like a...
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah, as you go in there. Oh, as you go down, it comes up.
Talk about a meditation device, eh?
This is always like a beautiful display here.
That is amazing. I want one of them.
I got the bottle. Tell them I got the bottle right here. Looks good, right?
So what is phytotonic? Why is that? Why should I be interested in that?
Well, phytotonic is based on the plant, derived from plant. So it has the entire fruit, as I said, seed, pulp, and skin. The fruits are grown so very close to the equator that they're so rich in antioxidants. It's like a super antioxidant. There's a village in Ecuador called Vilcabamba, and that's where the minerals and the mineral water is coming from. Right. And those villagers that live there, they're known for their longevity. Oh, yeah? Actually, 1 out of 64 people living in this particular village, it's in the Andes Mountains, 1 out of 64 people are living into their hundreds with no disease.
Wow. And, let's have a taste. Well, thank you very much, Amy and Miguel, and cheers.
Thank you.
Let's go. I'm here with Dr. Walter Semkiw, who's been leading some incredible workshops here, working with the subject of reincarnation. So tell me, Walter, do we have proof of reincarnation, and how can we take this knowledge to enhance our lives?
Well, we are establishing proof of reincarnation now through multiple independently researched cases, which show that from lifetime to lifetime, we have the same facial features, personality traits, and we've even done a formal linguistic analysis showing that writing structure is the same. The most eminent researcher in reincarnation is Dr. Ian Stevenson at the University of Virginia, and he studies children who spontaneously remember past lives. And the typical child remembers their name, where they lived, the names of their relatives, the village. They give the biologic parents enough information that they can reunite the child with the past life family. The child can then identify past life family members by name, know family secrets, and know enough that the past life family accepts the child as the reincarnation of their deceased loved one. And Stevenson has just published 2 cases showing similarities in facial structure. And in this case of Suzanne Ghanem, Stevenson studied Suzanne 25 years ago when she was a 4 or 5-year-old girl, and she had spontaneous memories. Her husband from the past lifetime, who was now 50 years old or so, came to believe that this 5-year-old girl is the reincarnation of his deceased wife, because he could show her pictures of them at a party, and she could identify all their friends by name from the picture. And as you can see here, as a full-grown adult, she has the same facial features as who she was before.
Right. So are we all reincarnating as the same person over and over? Is it, as a man, will I reincarnate as a male every incarnation, or do things change around?
Well, in what the research shows is 90% of the time we come back in the same gender. We seem to have a preference of being male or female. Right. But you can change gender, race, ethnic affiliation, and religion. And in fact, the reason why I'm passionate about this work is the fact that the cases show that you can change religion, which can help create more peace in the world. Sure. And the most important case in this regard is Anne Frank is reincarnated. And she's another childhood reincarnation case where she had spontaneous memories. She told her parents at the age of 10 that my name's not Barbara, it's Anne Frank. They said, what are you talking about? Who's Anne Frank? They didn't know because the diary wasn't out yet. Okay. But she remembered the arrest, the concentration camp, dying in the concentration camp. Wow. At the age of 10, by now the diary was out, and the parents went to Amsterdam for the first time, and the father wanted to go see the Frank house. So he picked up the phone to get a cab to take him there, but Barbara remembered where she was and said, we don't need a cab, it's right near here. And she led her parents directly to the Anne Frank house without directions, and inside the Frank house she knew where artifacts should have been located that had been taken down for mounting. And even the president of the Anne Frank Foundation, who knew Anne Frank when she was alive, believes it's her. And the point that I make is that if the German people 70 years ago knew that you could be born Jewish in one lifetime and Christian in another, there never could have been a Holocaust. Sure. And in the same way, this evidence can help prevent events like 9/11.
Absolutely. Now, presuming we're all reincarnating, do we have an explanation why some of us seem to remember those previous incarnations, but some of us seems to forget them?
Yeah. We don't completely understand why some people remember and some people don't. Right. But it probably has to do with the level of soul evolution that you have. Okay. And it also depends, I would say, on whether you're karmically allowed to know. Okay. Because many times what happens is we have to experience emotionally what we've done to other people. And to really experience it emotionally, you can't have intellectual knowledge about what's going on. So it may be that once you're sort of done with your karmic lessons, you can have more insight.
And in the case of Anne Frank and some other you were mentioning there, when a person passes, do they immediately reincarnate, or is that, again, can that be at different times, or what is your feeling on that?
That's an excellent point, and what the research is showing is that people can incarnate very quickly. In the case of Suzanne Ghanem, she reincarnated only 10 days after she had died. There's another case that Stevenson has published with common facial features. That individual incarnated after 1 year after death. And in the case of Anne Frank, she reincarnated about 9 years after Anne Frank's death.
On just another slight little, something a little different, the incarnation process, would you say that is one we choose? I always sort of feel like we're here for three reasons. Either I chose to be here, I was seduced to be here, or I was deceived to come here. I don't know how you feel about how the process of us actually incarnating into this form actually comes about.
Yeah, I think it's both a choice but also an obligation. And as we come into life, we do incur karmic debts, you can say. If we've hurt somebody, then we're going to be karmically bound to come back and sort of experience what happened, or maybe pay back the karma in service. Okay. But on the other hand, I think to our soul, incarnating is a great opportunity to grow. Right. And even though we get tired of the mundane part of life, and we sometimes wonder why we're here and wish we weren't here, but from the point of view of our soul, I think it's very valuable. And I think of it sometimes as how the soul develops muscles. Right. And we grow as a soul, even though, because we sort of lose perspective of the process, we may sometimes feel that things are meaningless. From the point of view of the soul, I think it's very meaningful.
Absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating subject. How do other people, religions, groups, how do they receive this information? Especially in regard to, do we always reincarnate as a human being, or is there the possibility of reincarnation as a different animal or different object?
Well, my understanding is we reincarnate as humans. That's our path of evolution. The religions are going to have to accept reincarnation because there is so much evidence coming out now, it's going to be impossible for them to refute it. Right. We're starting out small here at the Expo, but I guarantee you in a few years this is going to be on major media. Yeah. It already has. There was a childhood memory reincarnation case that in the last year was aired on prime time on ABC with Charles Gibson, a national television show about a little boy who remembered being a fighter pilot in World War II. Just like the church had to accept that the earth revolves around the sun and not the other way around, religions are going to have to accept reincarnation because there's going to be so much evidence they can't refute it.
Absolutely. It sounds very exciting. I'd love to hear more. I'm going to certainly get this book, Return of the Revolutionaries. It seems like a great read. I want to thank you very much, Walter. It's been very insightful.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
If you understand the 7 creative planets and that they rule the 7 days of the week, and that all of the energies of 7 are above and rule then the energies of 12, like the 12 months of the year, the 12 signs of the zodiac, then you understand that if you know how to work with those 7 days of the week, the 7 planets, you don't have to worry about the zodiac.
Hello, I'm Lisa and Rachel. I'm Rachel, and we're here at the New Life Expo having fun. Amethyst healing mat. It's an incredibly powerful healing mat. It works, first of all, through amethyst. Amethyst is a very powerful crystal. It's used for centuries by royalty. It helps to heal and detoxify the body. It's especially good with people with addictions, such as alcohol addictions. It helps to put consciousness in the body. It helps to raise your chi. It helps to make you more psychic. Secondly, this mat heals through far infrared rays because the mat puts heat into the body. It does not have any EMFs, it does not have any electrical coils in the mat, and it actually gets hot. Far infrared rays help to heal the body through sweat, as in a sauna. The third way it heals is by putting negative ions in the air and in the body. The combination of the three powers of healing is incredibly strong. It helps you to detoxify the body. It helps you to center and ground your body. It raises your consciousness. It helps you sleep better. It helps you be a general, more grounded person and have more energy. Can you add anything, Lisa?
Amethyst crystal over in Asia has been used as a superconductor. So basically the mat has far infrared, negative ions, and it's superconducting with the amethyst, which also is known to open the third eye, for psychic ability and for higher vibration in the human beings and for addictions, because it naturally raises the vibration of the human on the mat. We also use the mat to go into a deep delta state, which is the deepest state of relaxation. The body's allowed to heal itself, and it raises the metabolic rate in the body, which allows you to lose weight, to detox, de-stress, and also shift consciousness. There's an amethyst pillow also that is memory foam, and the idea is the body is warm and the head is kept cool. So the amethyst pillow also helps for worry and to transform and shift the consciousness. Okay, Rachel?
Okay. Well, we're having fun here, and we're glad that you're listening. We hope you would someday buy or try an amethyst mat. It's a wonderful healing product, and it's a lot less expensive than chemotherapy, which none of us want to use. So this is saying goodbye from Crystal Power Central.
Goodbye.
This is Lisa. I'm Rachel. Have a great day. Namaste.